Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode with Get Bakin with REI and the Spice Lab. Today I'm joined with Carla and Aprecia. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about what you do here?
Absolutely. My name is Carla Ramsdell. I'm a practitioner in residence here in the Department of Physics and Astronomy, and we are in the Spice Lab. And SPICE stands for Sustainable Physics-Inspired Culinary Education. And I am so grateful to the REI, which is why we're doing this partnership, for making this lab possible. Go ahead.
My name is Aprecia Laster. I'm the current project management chair along with someone else. We just do projects around campus. So if you see something like that's solar related or not solar related, there's other ways to do renewable energy. Probably has something to do with us. Exactly.
Cooking's renewable energy.
Carla gets it. That's why we funded her lab. Okay, that's why we did it.
So I hear we're making pizza today, ladies.
We are making pizza. It's the quintessential food of the college experience. And so we're going to give a new thing you probably have never thought about, making a skillet pizza that never sees an oven, and also highlighting one of the really unique and great things about this lab, and that's that every cooktop and refrigerator and outlet is data logging energy, so we can see like live action energy use while we're cooking. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to be side by side dueling pizza cooktops, and we're going to have an oven going also as comparison, and then we can look at the end of what the total energy was. So I've never done this, never seen before. So this is exciting. Thank you for being here. I appreciate
Yes, thank you.
I love this partnership with AppTV.
All right, let's make some pizzas.
Hey everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm the chair of the ASU REI, and I'm back from the last episode.
And Hannah is who made this space possible, because about 2 years ago, when we were just dreaming of this idea, she was the chair of the outreach committee, and we dreamed of things like this as a way to explain other renewable energies and other things to improve the efficiency of the built environment. So our kitchens are a big place we can do that. So we're going to go ahead and start on all three of these burners to saute some toppings. While that's sauteing, we're going to roll out our crusts, and then from there it goes really fast. So shall we start our dueling?
We shall.
Hannah is going to be on the old school resistance burner, which actually is really a very effective conductor. We're using the same cast iron skillet for all three of these, so it's a side-by-side comparison. Stay tuned. We'll talk about the physics of cast iron in another episode to come. It's part of my research. And then Aprecia is going to be cooking on an induction cooktop. A cast iron skillet also is great because it already works on induction cooktops. And then I'm going to be working on this, which is also a type of a resistance burner, but it's under a glass plate, so it's a radiant burner. And so I will be doing my pizza there. We'll be side by side, trying to keep them as even as possible, trying to keep what we're doing as even as possible, so that we can kind of compare the efficiency of all those. And as a control pizza, we're going to put one in the oven too on convection. So the first thing we're going to do is turn everything on. I'm going to start by turning on the oven. So we're going to again do convection at 400 degrees. And I already have a carbon steel pan in here. I'm going to preheat it with the pan in, so we'll get that nice and hot so we can put the pizza on there and it'll stay nice and hot to brown the crust. I am at 89. You are?
Like 246.
Yeah, that's induction.
106.
Really responsive. 106. Perfect. So we're going to oil all of these in preparation for our toppings. You are definitely going to be ready to top first, Aprecia, because you have that very responsive induction. So you're going to want to turn that down pretty soon. Perfect. Yeah, so we can start loading some. Here, I'll just pass it down. Green peppers first. Just pass them down the line. There you go. Mushrooms. There you go. Onions. I'll put the pepperoni here. We are using pepperoni, so we're going to use some plant proteins with black beans, and I might have lost some of you there because you're thinking black beans don't go on a pizza, but we're going to try to change the world with our food system, and so we're going to have to think kind of creatively here. So we are going to use a little bit of pepperoni because it adds a real lot of flavor with a very little of animal protein, basically. So I enjoy a little bit of pepperoni. Turkey pepperoni also is a big help, and then we're going to put black beans in there too. So, okay, let me add mine. The oven is at 97 degrees at this point. I am at 107. Aprecia's here at 270 and 237. Really interesting that the coil burner is much more efficient than what we replaced it with. We replaced it with this radiant under glass. It's much easier to clean, but it's not quite as efficient. All right, ladies, while that is cooking, we're gonna start making our pizza dough. So you might wanna turn it down a bit. I need to keep mine on because it's struggling a bit.
So to make the dough, we started by adding a 3/4 cup of flour, and that includes the regular flour and also freshly ground flour.
So this is the flour that we're using. We have some white flour, and we also have some hard red wheat flour as well.
1 tablespoon of olive oil.
Yeah. Dump that in there, give it a good stir.
Teaspoon of baking powder in each of these, and again, that's just gonna give us a little bit of rise since we're not using any yeast. Here's the powder for you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
We're also adding 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt to each of these, and that can be to taste. The great thing about making your own is you can just sort of do what tastes really great for you.
We're also adding about 1/4 cup of water.
So you want to go really sparingly on the water to start off with and just start making it into a dough. Depending on what kinds of flour you're using, their hydration rates are different. Sometimes you need 1/4 and sometimes you need a little bit less and a little bit more. So just sort of start off with a little bit low on the water and then start forming it into a dough. In general, doughs, if they are too sticky, you probably have too much water and need to add a little bit of flour. If they're not holding together well enough, they're probably too dry. You need to add a little bit of water. So those are the gauges. Aprecia, I think your toppings are well sauteed. I'm going to turn you way down. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn you down to a 1.
We went from the 9th setting to the 3rd setting, still too hot. So once again, I think I'm gonna defeat them.
Are you liking the induction? Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're already seeing.
We'll see.
So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see my flawless victory.
And then after you add everything, you just turn it out onto your surface and put it out into a circle. Like so.
Like so, like that.
Like so.
And we're trying to roll this into about a 10-inch circle because that'll fit in the bottom of our 10-inch skillets. So I'm going to work for a minute at getting the sauteed vegetables out of the skillets now. Do you want to do yours?
Let me help you with that.
Yeah, great. Thank you. You feel like you're close? I feel like you're close. Okay, we're going to put all the burners up now. We want to get to a nice, when you're making a flatbread pizza, the first step is to have a nice hot skillet. So you want those nice like little brown crusty pieces on them like a flatbread would be. And then once we cook the bottom, we're gonna flip it over. You flip it over, the cooked side is up and we're cooking on the bottom, and then we're gonna top it with tomato sauce and cheese and all these lovely pre-sauteed vegetables. So we are gonna get each of these up to about, I'm looking for like about 350 degrees. All right, in preparation for the crust, I'm gonna just use some oil and a little silicone brush. This silicone brush is literally one of my favorite gadgets in the kitchen. So yeah, we're gonna just go for it.
Cool.
Put your pizza on the skillet.
Okay. Get up! Get up! You have so much to live for. Okay,
Tell it to them.
It's my inspirational speech, y'all.
While that is doing its 2 minutes of cooking or so, we need to sort of manage. I feel like that's gonna get real hot real soon. I'm gonna put some flavor on here, some Italian seasoning if you all would like.
Yes, please.
I'm also gonna use, this is like my favorite garlic salt. I was raised on this garlic salt, so we're gonna, the oven is preheated, so we're gonna put our pre-prepared pizza in the oven.
This stuff is so good.
I don't think you can go wrong with garlic, you know. One of those things.
I'm with you.
Anything from Lowry's, honestly.
So I'm curious that you like garlic, but you don't like onions.
Well, it's just, you know.
It's okay.
Personal
Maybe
preference.
just a
You be you.
I'm literally this girl. So it's okay.
All right, so I think that the bottoms are ready to go. So here's the trick. We're gonna lift it up and we're gonna sort of re-oil the pan before we flip it over so that this top side here will see some nice oily pan.
It's still a heart.
Then we put our toppings on there that have been pre-sauteed. Look at that, it looks so amazing.
Yum.
I'm going with a little more Italian seasoning. And then last but not least, we need some cheese.
Cheese, please.
Cheese, please.
all the cheese.
Our last step is we're going to put a lid on it, and that's to help melt the cheese. So we're trying to sort of get this, trap the steam as it's coming off the skillet. Are you ready? You need cheese first.
Thank
Top
you.
you off. Actually, I'm going to use that there so you can see through this one. Looks good.
Let me hit it without telling you cheese on my card.
Oh yeah,
It can
nice.
never be a
Nice.
secret.
I didn't do that.
I might tap the cheese down a tiny bit just so that we get, because it's a little harder to melt the cheese in this theory. So we're going to take that off, and we can keep an eye on yours really easily. And now we wait in great anticipation. All right, I think, Hannah, you look like you're done. So you're going to cut off. Do you feel like you're done? I feel like I'm burning.
I hope I'm done.
I'm going off.
Mine smells
I'm
burnt.
off.
Oh, mine is not.
Yours is not out. Well, we just probably turned you down
Yeah,
too
we
far.
turned
So
me
let's
down to like 1.
so let's go down. We're gonna check on the oven.
The game is ready.
Woo, that's looking good, I gotta say. This is very exciting here. So I do some research on cast iron skillets, and I use an infrared camera to see how the heat is distributed across. So this is an aluminum pan, which is a really good thermal conductor, and cast iron, which is not that great of a thermal conductor. It ends up that a bad thermal conductor in a skillet is actually a good thing, because then the heat stays on the bottom of the skillet where you're cooking. In an aluminum pan, because it's such a good thermal conductor, it actually sheets that energy up the edges, but I'm not cooking on the edge, so it ends up just being a waste of energy. So another reason why cast iron is so great. Okay, cool, let's dish them up. Okay, we gotta keep track of who's who. I'm so sorry, that's yours.
Oh, we'll know.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a little bit longer because the cheese is not.
The cheese is not melted. We need some melted
She
cheese.
lost. She lost the competition.
I don't want to hear. I was
She's
big. The competition
loser.
was.
Well, we don't know. Energy, energy and time are totally different things. So do not fret. Don't fret. I believe in you. Okay, this is coming off. We are turning our oven off. We're gonna slide this out. Parchment paper is your friend for making a pizza. I gotta say, that looks great. So you notice we have the browning on here because the cheese was able to dehydrate a little bit and then get a little bit caramelized. That doesn't happen when we're melting the cheese with steam. So one way to sort of improve this a little bit is to pop it under a broiler for just a couple minutes after it comes out of the skillet, and then you get those sort of brown edges, which is great.
That was
Okay.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Look at the heart. We're gonna remember who that one is. We know that.
Are we gonna get it up? I don't know. I don't know.
I believe in you.
I also believe in you. Maybe.
You got it. Slide it off. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh wait.
That was ugly.
Risky, but it made it. So there you have it. Cool. All right. I feel like we have to taste,
Yay!
right?
Hand you a knife with no hesitation.
I think we go
If
with
you don't have a
8,
pizza
so
cutter.
Scissors work really well. Do you want to do those in
Oh,
half?
yeah,
So we
yeah,
get
yeah.
8 pieces. All right, let's taste.
Sweet. Which one was
Cool.
which?
This is me. This is you. This is Oven.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna try me first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
High fives, like little. All right, cool. So we're going to analyze the data and tell you what the results are from an energy perspective, but I think they all taste really delicious. So thanks for joining us, and Get Bakin in cooperation with the REI and with the Spice Lab. Stay tuned. We have lots of other delicious recipes planned in the future. So drop in again and we'll have some more fun with sustainable food and physics and App TV. Thank you. Alrighty, here's a super quick summary of the energy comparison. We see each line here represents a different cooktop. The oven's in black. The resistance cooktop that Hannah was on is in purple. The induction cooktop that Aprecia was on is in green, and my radiant is in orange. The x-axis here is time, going from left to right through our entire cooking process, and the y-axis is power. So what we see is that the oven at 0.78 kilowatt hours was definitely the energy hog, and so this skillet method of cooking is a huge energy saver, which is great. But the really curious and unexpected part is that all three of our cooktops actually pretty much tied, and we couldn't have done that if we tried. That was amazing. We do see the induction cooktop was winning. If you look at this power versus time curve, the area under the curve represents the total energy used. And so definitely the induction was winning until the very end when we had to turn that induction cooktop back on to melt the cheese. And that's because induction cooktops are so responsive that there wasn't enough residual heat there to melt the cheese. So all this is to say, that was super fun. And equipment is important in the kitchen, but also the way we cook, our techniques are just as important.